Hello everyone, Mr. Lipchik here, and our topic for this segment of instruction is influencing voters. How are voters influenced? What motivates voters to support a particular candidate? There are 5 major factors that influence voter decisions. 1. The personal background of the voter. 2. The degree of voter loyalty to his or her party. There are people who go in and pull the party lever and vote straight party. Campaign issues. The voter's image of the candidates. How do they perceive them? And propaganda. Personal background of the voter. Age. Many issues are age-related, such as support of Social Security. Ethnic, religious, occupational, and educational background is also influential. Candidates' position on various issues directly affect people's lives according to their backgrounds. And cross-pressure voters. Voters who are conflicted about the votes because candidates have different positions on issues that are important to their lives. Loyalty to political parties, or lack of it. There are strong party voters, voters who see their party as more important than the issues or the candidates themselves. They tend to vote the straight party ticket, all Democratic or all Republican. These voters are becoming less common. In 1980, many Democrats voted against Jimmy Carter because he was perceived as a weak and ineffective president. And this is largely because in 1979, the U.S. Embassy in Iran was overtaken by Islamic militants. And Carter sent a rescue mission to Iran, which failed and was unsuccessful in obtaining their release. It made him look very bad. Independent voters are becoming more influential. In 1992, Ross Perot was an important candidate in the election and was actually ahead at one point. These voters do not identify with either of the major parties. The issues and the appeal of individual candidates influence them the most. And candidates today cannot rely on party loyalty. And the independent voters are evidence of this. Issues in the election are becoming more important. Voters are better educated and have more access to information through TV and internet. In the election of 1980, the economy was suffering from something called stagflation. Inflation and joblessness were increasing at the same time, primarily because we failed to tax the country properly for the Vietnam War. That led to the inflation, and we were undergoing an economic transition from a manufacturing economy to a service economy. This caused a large percentage of Democrats to vote for Ronald Reagan. Now, Jimmy Carter in 1980 was not responsible for the entire, state of the economy. There were things beyond his control. However, people will perceive it this way. A candidate's image is becoming more important. In 1980, Jimmy Carter was seen as a weak president without hope, while Reagan was positive and confident. He was a former screen actor. In 1976, Gerald Ford seemed dull and ineffective, and the Democratic Congress vetoed all of his attempts to pass legislation, and this hurt his chances at getting reelected. So the power and personal charisma in a national election cannot be overestimated. Very important. Most of the people who get elected have a powerful personality. Propaganda, using ideas, information, and rumors to influence opinion. Frequently, they are false or based on half-truths. Some common types of propaganda: labeling, which is identifying a candidate with a negative name, such as liberal. Spin, putting a political or historical event into a certain point of view, making it fit somebody's viewpoint, not being completely factual. Justifying the invasion of Iraq, for instance, because of weapons of mass destruction, would be an example. Testimonials, celebrity endorsements, even if the individual is not a qualified expert on the issues. People, for some reason, will listen to celebrities. Card stacking, quoting only the statistics that support the candidate's position and taking them out of context. In Plain Folks, the candidate portrays him or herself as an ordinary man or woman like you, even if they are extremely wealthy. Too much propaganda has the effect of making voters cynical, negatively affecting voter participation. Profile the typical voter. No, the profile isn't Homer Simpson, but I thought that was an amusing cartoon. Regular voters have positive attitudes towards government. And the more education an individual has, the more likely he or she is to vote. Middle-aged persons have the highest turnout of all groups. And the higher a person's income, the more likely they are to vote regularly. Profile of a typical non-voter. Americans are very mobile, frequently moving, and some do not meet state residency requirements. Although they can obtain absentee ballots, many do not bother to do this. Some are permanent residents who do not yet have citizenship, preventing them from voting. Overall voting turnouts have declined over the last few decades. Suggestions have been made for increasing the voter turnout. Make election day a Sunday. Allow voters to register on election day. Or spread the election out over several days. Or use absentee ballots for everyone and permit a time window for submitting them. Some states are already doing this. That concludes our discussion on influencing voters. Thank you for your participation, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lesson. Have a great day.